Hello everybody, and it's Mr. Burns from the Weather Studio doing your, I think it is spring update now. I think this is the sixth one, and last time we did a February analogues for our spring update because we had a very mild February, 6.8 degrees on the central England temperature, 3 degrees above the 61 to 1990 average. One of the mildest Februaries on record, so we looked at the top 10 mildest Februaries post 1948, and we looked at the springs that followed, and we found that when you had a warm February, you favoured a warm, dry and high pressure dominated spring. In this update, we're going to look at February precipitation. So if you scroll down to February 2022, you can see we came out at 103.8 millimeters, which is quite a wet February. You can see most of the Februaries came out in double digits below 100 millimeters. Look at how dry February 1959 was, just 8.7 millimeters. Wow, that must have been exceptionally dry. And look at this month here, August. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, September 1959, exceptionally dry year as well, 1827 millimeters. So yeah. Anyway, so we had quite a wet and stormy February this year with 103.8 millimeters, and quite simply for this update we're going to look at February's with precipitation between 93.8 and 103.8 millimeters. We've only got a small number of analogues, including 1957, 1974, 1997, 2000, 2001 and 2007. So without further ado, let's get on with the video, and first of all we're going to look at 1957, and just reminded me to get up my Epic Pen software, so I'll do that now. Okay, Pen software loaded up, so let's get on with the video then. So yeah, first spring we're going to look at is 1957, so February 1957 had precipitation between 93.8 and 113.8 millimeters. The spring of 1957 looks like this, with high pressure over into the north of the country, quite a bit of northern blocking, low pressure out in the middle of the Atlantic. Overall quite a high pressure dominated signal, and probably bringing in winds from the east a lot of the time as well, so quite an easterly dominated spray, especially the low pressure to the south like that. Overall, I think quite a warm and dry spring in 1957. The next February, with precipitation between 93.8 and 113.8 millimeters, is the February of 1974. Spring 1974 looks like this, with strong high pressure to the north, deep low pressure to the south, winds in from the east. Again, a very easterly spring for 1974, as spring often is. Easterlies in March will tend to be quite chilly, but easterlies in May can be quite warm. Next up, we've got the spring of 1997. So we looked at this one in the last update. It's a very high pressure dominated spring, low pressure to the east, very warm and dry spring in 1997. Then we've got spring of 2000, which has high pressure to the west, low pressure to the south, and sort of to the east as well. Quite an Atlantic, well, actually no, probably a lot of southerly winds in that spring. So yeah, probably quite a mild and relatively dry spring in the spring of 2000. I think that cropped up in our last downloads as well. We've also got spring 2000 with low pressure over the top of the country, high pressure to the south, winds in from the west, so quite an unsettled and Atlantic driven spring in 2001. And finally we have 2007, which was a high pressure dominated spring. This one has cropped up a lot in our analogues. It had a very warm and dry April, record-breakingly so at the time, I think, but then it all went wrong in May. It was a cold and wet May, and that pattern continued on from the summer, and I think the less said about the summer of 2007, the better, to be honest. Putting it all together then, this is how it looks. So overall, It's a high pressure dominated signal with high pressure pretty much slap bang over the country, maybe centred slightly to the north of the country, so maybe winds from the easterly direction, which would be quite typical for the spring. A lot of the time low pressure in the Atlantic, so yeah, seems like again we're favouring a high pressure dominated anticyclonic warm and dry signal when we have a February precipitation between 93.8 and 113.8 millimetres. So this was just a very quick update. So a lot of these updates, most of these updates have favoured a high pressure dominated spring with a lot of warm, which would contain a lot of warm, dry and sunny weather if it came off. So if you like springs warm, dry and sunny, like the spring of 2020, then you will have enjoyed these updates. So yeah, it's looking good for spring if that's the kind of weather you enjoy. So we'll see in the next update. We'll probably do a seasonal model roundup update, and and then in the update after that we'll probably release the spring forecast. I don't know how many people will watch it because I haven't done many forecasts. Not many people have watched my videos, but I've really enjoyed doing these videos. Gav's not done his spring updates this year. Gav watched WeatherVids, so that's why I'm doing these spring updates, and I have enjoyed it. So yeah, please give this video a like if you enjoyed. Please leave a comment if you wish, and please subscribe for future videos. Okay, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.